When my friend started to go through, he was shot 4 times in his bulletproof vest.
Right, y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. All right, so today we're checking out a story out of the Ukraine war. Now, I gotta say, this was sent to me, and the quality of the video is pretty impressive for how new the YouTube channel is. They only started uploading, I think, maybe like a month ago. The channel itself is called Heroes of War, but they do like a bunch of interviews with people, and they translate it and also add an animation, which the animation is also pretty freaking sweet. So it is nice to get some of that first-person perspective from the people who are actually in that battle and sort of experiencing these things. So this one is titled Ukrainian Marine Firefights in Mariupol. So I've watched a little bit of it, and again, I gotta say I was pretty impressed. So I think you guys might enjoy it as well. Of course, I'll put the original video down in the description if you guys want to go and check out more videos from this channel. But yeah, should be good. Let's check it out. Intro's pretty good, not too over the top either.
My name is Michael. I am a Marine in the Ukrainian Armed Forces. On March 17th,
Hell yeah.
I was in Mariupol fighting the Russians who invaded our country. My comrade and I were on patrol, and when we were finished, we were going back to reunite with our squad. To get to them, we had to go through a hole in a fence that divided a yard. When my friend started to go through, he was shot 4 times in his bulletproof vest.
Jeez. I gotta say, seeing the combat footage in Ukraine has been pretty interesting because, I mean, the situation is evolving so much, so I'm not sure how easy it can be to actually battle track everyone inside of these urban areas. It feels almost dispersed in a weird way. I'm not sure how they're doing as far as communications, like as far as, you know, radios at what level. If they can get radios down to like even the team level where everyone has a radio, that would be awesome for communication so they can at least track each other. But again, with this urban warfare and people are constantly giving and taking land, it's going to be hard to know where the enemy is at any given time. And even if you know they're in a general area, sometimes, yeah, if you're just trying to link up, you know, they could potentially push and cut you off from your main element, something that we might be seeing here. But yeah, it's kind of scary just not being able to know where the enemy is at a given time.
I pulled him back and got him to a safe corner of a house nearby. I got on the radio to tell my squad that it was us and not shoot, but there is no response. We started yelling,
Jeez.
"It's Michael and Yaroslav, don't shoot," but we didn't hear anything back. We realized it wasn't friendly fire, but it was the Russians. The Russians were in the spot where our squad was earlier. The front line had moved.
That's scary.
My friend peeked around the corner and was shot in the vest again. He fell down and I helped him up.
It's a good thing he had that
And we
vest.
started to run. While we ran, I fell down myself. I didn't understand why. I didn't realize I was shot right away. But I was shot in the hip, and it had been fractured.
Damn. Oh, the hip too is really bad because if you fracture your pelvis or your hip, yeah, it's going to make it very hard, if not impossible, to actually be able to walk or run effectively. So that must be brutal. I know when the adrenaline is pumping and whatnot, I've heard it many times where people don't even realize that they got shot at the time. So it might seem kind of like odd, but adrenaline does some pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, being shot in the hip is not going to make it easy to do anything after that.
My friend made it to a safe place behind a house, and I started crawling to safety myself. While I was crawling, the Russians were shooting at me, and I finally stopped at a space between a house and its fence. I got on the radio for my team to rescue me, but they told me that they were pinned down too, and said that they'd come as soon as possible. The whole time, bullets were being shot at me from 3 different Russian points. I heard the Russians getting closer and closer. At one point, they were 5 yards away from me, and I could hear the spent shells fall on the ground as they closed in. The bullets were hitting the bricks right above my head on the house I was lying next to, and the pieces of brick were falling into my face. I started to pray. I said goodbye to my...
Oh my gosh, that has got to be terrifying when your cover is literally being like blown to pieces in front of you and it's just disintegrating. It's like literally your last hope just disintegrating in front of you. So yeah, I've never been in a position like that, but I can imagine it's going to be pretty traumatizing.
Life, and for God to take my soul. All of a sudden, my squad showed up. They started to shoot at the Russians and lay down suppressing fire.
Oh, yeah.
The Russians started falling back. Since my hip was broken, they had to drag me to safety, so 2 came over one laying suppressing fire, while the other dragged me on my back by the collar of my jacket. The one laying fire was Yaroslav.
Nice. Good stuff.
After about 10 seconds, Yaroslav was shot in the throat and fell next to me. He looked at me and said he was hit. He died a few moments later. I was continued to be dragged to safety when a Russian came around a corner and started shooting. While being dragged, I laid down suppressing fire and drove the attacker back. When I was safely around a corner, he let go and went to get the body of Yaroslav. When he got back with his body, since we had no Jeep and just had a regular car, we had to put Yaroslav's body in the trunk since there was no room in the car.
Dude, that
I was put in the
sucks.
back seat with 2 others. We speed off.
What's gotta be going through your head after that? That's freaking brutal, man. Yeah, I mean, you can tell just by his emotion in his face. Damn, dude. Oh, no way. They got pictures. That sucks, man. That's freaking brutal. That has got to be a hard thing to live through and just live with for the rest of your life. Especially, you know, your buddy getting shot, especially in such a brutal way, and then having to put him in the trunk. Like, I don't know. I feel like you need to almost desensitize yourself to a certain point to be able to, like, hey, I'm literally moving my buddy and putting him in the trunk of a car, putting his body in the trunk of a car has got to be a pretty crappy feeling. But yeah, I don't know. This is just one of many stories that I'm sure we can hear from the war in Ukraine. And that's why I love channels like this where they can really take that story and put it out there for the rest of the world to see and learn about these individuals that are in this war and fighting, you know, the Russians in this conflict. So again, huge props to the channel. I'll put the original video in the description so you guys can go and check it out. Now, of course, not everybody can support, you know, financially or provide gear, things like that they need to fight the Russians. But I think being able to take these stories and put them out there, have these names out there, have these faces out there for us to at least see and hear and realize what they're going through, I think that's a pretty cool thing for them to be able to do. So again, big props for the people who are able to do this and put it on a YouTube channel. Definitely go and check out the channel and definitely go and subscribe to them. Right now, as I'm watching this, they have 4 videos and they all look really, really fascinating. So I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And again, Heroes of War, if you're watching, thanks for letting me react to your video. And thanks for the cool content. But that is it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one.